Yo guys, what's up? What's cooking? For me there's nothing cooking, because in this video I'm gonna tell you what happened to me after 6 months of eating raw meat daily at every meal. For example, I'm on a primal diet, that's how it's called. Primal diet, where I eat raw meat, raw eggs, raw butter, raw milk, also raw organs and some fruit and honey here and there. It's like a natural diet, ancestral diet, and I ate like this for 6 months. So in this video I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened to me, what are the benefits that I've noticed, the side effects. So you're gonna learn some interesting things in this video, so stay tuned, watch till the end. If not, I'm gonna do this to you. Yeah, just kidding. If you're wondering why I have this axe right here, it's because I'm a fucking Viking, okay? I hunt with this axe, I just do this to animals and I eat raw meat. That's how I get my meat. Now let me tell you about this raw meat thing. So yeah, I started exactly in March 15 this year, and I just happened to crave raw meat suddenly. Before this, look, for context, I was on a carnivore diet before this primal diet, on a cooked carnivore diet to be more specific. I would eat cooked meat, eggs, butter, that's kind of it, cooked meat, eggs and butter. And I had like people around me telling me that yeah, they're also on the carnivore diet, but they also eat raw meat and it makes them feel better. And then I've started to see like other primal influencers talking about raw meat, eating raw meat, and that's when it clicked a bit to me. So I decided to give it a try, because I had like a sudden craving for raw meat. So here we are, day one of eating raw meat. I started eating. The taste was okay to me at first. It was nothing too disgusting, let's say, like I want to throw up or something. No, nothing at all. The taste was okay, it was fine, nothing too crazy either, like saying yeah I like it so much, but it was okay. I didn't throw up or anything, and I ate around 100 grams or 150 grams like the first time when I ate raw meat, and it was pretty good. Like at the beginning, the first thing that I felt like my ancestor memories started to kick in, you know, like I was slowly turning into an animal or something. Like I don't know, I was feeling so strange and so interesting at the same time while I was eating the raw meat. I don't know if it's placebo or not, because I literally felt like a caveman while eating the raw meat the first time that I ate it. And after I finished eating it, I got like a bit of bloating in my stomach. It felt like a little bloat, not something too crazy, something like stomach upset, let's say. And I stopped after that. I didn't want to shock my body from the first time eating raw meat. Just I ate like a bit, so like I told you, 100 grams, 150 grams. And after that I got that bloat, I stopped. And then after an hour, something really interesting happened after my first raw meal. After 1 hour, I gained so much energy and I felt so good. Like I had like an euphorical mood, let's say. I felt like so happy out of sudden, and I also felt like a libido boost. Literally felt like I was on crack or something, you know. I was just like jumping randomly or sprinting in my room. Also, I don't know, I just felt like an animal. It felt so good. I felt like I was, I don't know, in heaven, let's say. That was really interesting, and I still do nowadays. I still do. So yeah, just from the first day I already experienced lots of benefits from eating this way, and after that I decided to continue. And here we are, then day 2. I started eating a bit more and more because my body could handle more raw meat now. And the same, like the first few days I had so much energy that I couldn't even sleep at night. I'm not even joking. I was like at 12 a.m, 1 a.m in the calisthenics park doing like handstand, hands and push-ups, dips, stuff like that, because I had so much energy I couldn't sleep. I felt like a sudden testosterone boost, like a testosterone spike, so my body had to get used to it, because it was like basically it felt like the nutrients inside the raw meat, and it just went insane. My body went insane after tasting raw meats. It finally got the proper nourishment, to say. And yeah, that's what happened usually the first few days. Then after that I started getting some diarrhea too, after like a few days from eating raw meat, which is normal and pretty common. Like almost everybody gets this as first when starting to eat raw meat. It's like a transition effect, because if you ate like a cooked diet your whole life, then obviously you're gonna have some transition effects. So I had a mild diarrhea which lasted for like a month and a half, something like that. It was like occasional here and there. Like in the first weeks it was almost daily, and after that it went away. So that I was kind of hit with the diarrhea. And besides that, what I also noticed like in the first days is that I also got this like sex drive, you know, increase. I got like a testosterone boost, libido boost. I will literally think about sex 24/7. I still do nowadays. Like, it boosted my libido a lot, this diet, because of the nutrients in raw meat. You have like the raw fats, cholesterol, which are the precursor of testosterone and the other steroid hormones. So of course you will get like a sex drive, you become very fertile on this diet. And yeah, it's really nice, and it's a bit annoying too if you have like sometimes you think about sex all the time. But yeah, I mean, especially if you're younger, this will happen most likely if you're on a raw diet. And besides that, also by day 5, 6, I also noticed a difference in my physique. I started getting leaner because I had a bit of body fat, extra body fat before starting this raw diet. Even though I was on a carnivore diet, I still had a bit of body fat, and I was shredding out a bit. My face started to get leaner, my abs were popping more, and also I noticed that my muscles would look fuller, like more with more glycogen, let's say. Even though I was on a low carb diet, I was eating like basically no carbs, because I was carnivore at this point. When I first started, only meat and animal products, no fruit, no honey, no nothing at the beginning. So I had no glycogen from carbs. So it was only because of the meat itself, because raw meat has glycogen, it has water. When you cook it, the water is gone. So yeah, that's it. So far the challenge like went really good. So far I was feeling very amazing and I didn't even expect to feel that way, you know, because everyone would tell you, yeah, raw meat is very dangerous, it has salmonella, parasites, you'll die, you'll get worms over your brain, stuff like that, you know, whatever people tell you. But I was feeling just so good, and I decided to continue. Of course I would listen to my body, because my body knows the best. And by the way, before we continue, just leave a subscribe if you want to see more content like this, where I help you achieve superhuman health by telling you my experience with the raw meat diet, and also I'll telling you other information, cool stuff about nature, lifestyle, nutrition, all this kind of stuff. If you're interested in that, then leave a follow. Not a follow, subscribe actually, because we're not on Instagram or TikTok. Okay, you get it. So we're around like the first week now of eating raw meat, because look, at first I would mix basically cooked meat with raw meat, because I couldn't eat fully raw yet. But after like a week I fully did the transition. I was eating like only raw meals, and basically I noticed that after a while of eating raw, I didn't want to eat cooked meat anymore. It didn't like seem a good idea to me anymore. Like, the idea of eating cooked meat didn't seem appealing to me anymore after a bunch of days eating like raw meat. It's like my body, you know, detected the nutrients in raw meat, detected that, yeah, raw meat is better, it has more nutrients, it's also digests better, it has more water, all these benefits. So my body was like, just eat raw meat from now on, leave the cooked meat alone, we don't need it anymore, have something better. That was basically the feeling. And again, I listened to my body and I started eating fully raw. By like a week in, I started having like all my meals raw, and I started like eating even more at a meal, like 500 grams with 5 eggs. At the beginning I would eat like very much food, almost like 2 kgs of meat, 1.5 kgs, and also 15 to 20 eggs per day, raw eggs, with like one stick of raw butter per day. I was really hungry at first. After a while, after I got transitioned to the raw foods, and fast forward, after two weeks, let's say, I started noticing some detox symptoms too, because like I was feeling better. Yeah, I was basically getting leaner, looking better, feeling better, more energy, more confidence even. But now the detox symptoms started to kick in. Now, like 2 weeks in, I started getting some detox symptoms. It was like a bit of some waves of lethargy. I started feeling like a bit lethargic, and it would be like randomly on and off, let's say, this lethargy, these waves of lethargy, of tiredness. It was like on and off till 1 month, and I still have them sometimes. This is because your liver is focused on healing or on detoxing, basically on removing toxins from your body, and it uses the energy to heal. That's what also Arjonus said. Arjonus being a nutritionist who like was on this diet for 30 years, 3 decades. Then he was talking about this, that you on this diet, because it's the proper human diet, you have a lot of nutrients, you stop ingesting toxins, you will detox like toxins from your body that you've accumulated over the years, and you can have this tiredness like after a few days, weeks of starting the raw diet, and also other symptoms. And besides that, I also noticed that when I would start eating more, like 500 grams of meat like per meal, when I got transitioned to it, I got used to eating raw, I would also get some nausea after meals from time to time. I would get like this nausea which would last for a few minutes, nothing too crazy. It was, I think, from the bile, because my bile was not used to digesting raw fats yet. Now it's gone, no more. I don't have this stuff anymore. And yeah, that's kind of it regarding the side effects. Those were more like temporary at the beginning when I was not used to the diet. Some went like away in a few days, other in a few weeks. So that's what happened like in the first days, weeks of eating raw meat. And now fast forward like 3 months, 6 months, feel like the best I ever had. To basically recap the benefits: first off, I have the most energy from my life. I just feel so energetic all the time. I also look better because, look, for example, this is how I looked before eating raw meat, and after 3 months, this is how I looked. After 6 months, you can see that I look better and better and better. My face got leaner, I have more bone mass, I'm just more handsome, and I like that. People tell me nowadays, kind of every day, I get told like that I'm very attractive, that I'm handsome. People just compliment my looks, and that's really nice, because before, back then, it wouldn't happen. And also one more thing regarding looks: after I started eating raw meat, after 1 month in, I stopped exercising. I stopped working out because before this I would be working out. I would do calisthenics pretty often, train to failure. Now I just move naturally here and there. I just do some movement, maybe some calisthenics too, when I feel like it, but not push to failure or anything, to work hypertrophy, to put on muscle mass. And I still retained all my muscle mass. You can see this is my physique. I even look better than before when I was working out. So yeah, this is pretty crazy, and that's because of the protein and the nutrients, obviously, and because I have high testosterone. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason. And besides that, like I said, my sex drive increased a lot after I started eating raw meat, and it kept increasing and increasing, which is crazy. Also, my mood just got better and better. I'm feeling happy all the time. I'm basically immune to depression, anxiety right now. My health got better too overall because of all these benefits. I'm also more satiated, and I don't need to eat as much food like before, because I have more nutrients, obviously, and I need to eat less. And yeah, that's kind of like the main benefits that I noticed. So yeah, that's it. That's what's happened after 6 months of eating raw meat. It's really interesting what happens when you eat raw meat, and you wouldn't expect it at all, because who would expect that you would feel so good from eating raw meat? And now I understand perfectly why the government is against raw meat, and it tells us to not eat raw meat because it's deadly and stuff like that. It basically brainwashed us into thinking that raw meat is disgusting and it's also deadly, which is not true at all. It's exactly the opposite. You feel the best you ever felt in your life when you eat raw meat. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So if you want to see more videos on this channel, like I told you, about this diet, how to start, maybe what about parasites, I also post my blood work. I won't mention it in this video because I just wanted to tell you how I felt, like side effects, benefits. I will do a separate video on the blood work, so if you want to see that and also see other helpful videos about nutrition, nature, and all this stuff in general about the primal lifestyle, then leave a subscribe and I'll do more videos. This is my first video on this channel, so hope you like it. See you next time. Bye bye.